A school bus transported an excursion party to a picnic spot 150 kilometers away. While returning, it was raining. The bus had to reduce its speed by 5 kilometers per hour, and it took 1 hour longer to make the return trip. Find the time taken to return. Now, this problem is very exactly similar to the last problem. Okay. But such problems are, if you see, many such problems have been given, which means that such problems are normally given for quadratic equations. That means 8 out of 10 times you can expect such problems to be given in your paper. Okay, so let's start with this. Find the time taken to return. That is a question. Okay, so I say let the speed of the bus, let the original speed of the bus be x kilometer per hour. Okay, now now while going, what is the distance is 150 kilometer to and fro distance, 150 kilometer each. Okay, so for the two journey, that means when reaching the picnic spot, what is the time taken? Let's say t1 is equal to distance by speed. Distance is given to be 150 and the speed is x. Now for the fro journey, it was raining. So the bus had to reduce the speed. Therefore, time taken, let's call this t2. The distance remains the same. But if you see in the question, it's written the bus had to reduce the speed by 5 kilometers per hour. So speed becomes x minus 5. And it took 1 hour longer to make the return trip. That means which time is greater? The time for the fro journey is greater. That means according to the problem, you have t2 minus t1 must be equal to 1. This will give you your equation. This is our equation. Now we'll reduce this, simplify this equation to a quadratic equation. To simplify your task, you can take 150 common. And now you can take the, you can divide both sides by 150. And now you can take the LCM. So here you will get x minus, and here you will get x minus 5. Do not confuse with the brackets, always put brackets. So this is x minus x plus 5. And in the denominator, you have x square minus 5x to 1 by 150. Now you can cancel x and minus x in the numerator to get 5 by
7.
Now you can cross multiply.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon. 5 into 150 will give you 750.
750.
So this reduces to a quadratic equation. And now you can factorize this to get your solution. Otherwise, if you find it difficult to factorize, You can always use Sridhar Acharya. So let's use Sridhar Acharya then. Minus b plus or minus root over of b square minus 4 into a into c divided by 2 into a. Give you 5 plus or minus square root of 25 plus minus and minus will
God
combine
of
to give you
Both
plus. So this will give you
God of Both
3000.
God of
So this will be 5 plus or minus square root of 3025 divided by 2. You can find out the square root of 3025 by using prime factorization method or division method. Division method is better. Okay. So you can find this out to be 55. So that means now taking positive sign, you will get one value, and taking negative sign, you will get the other value. You get 60 by 2, which is 30 kilometer per hour. Taking negative sign, x is equal to 5 minus 55 divided by 2, which is less than 0. And that is, this value is not acceptable, as speed cannot be negative. Okay, so the original speed was 30 kilometer per hour, but that was not the question. The question was find the time taken for the time taken to return. Now, if you see, time taken to return is 150 by x minus 5. Hence, time taken to return is equal to 150 by x minus 5. 150, 30 minus 5. 150 by 25. Cancel, you get 6 hours. So 6 hours is the time taken for the return journey. Okay. I can continue with the next one then. Now, I'll just a simple question here. I give you this. If I give you this question as a multiple choice question, then what can be the questions? So first of all, if I want to give you this as a multiple choice question, I will give you this as a statement. Let the original speed of the bus be x kilometer per hour. Okay. The next question can be, next you will have a statement there, and the statement will be that the school bus is transported and to an excursion to a picnic spot 150 kilometer away. This is going to be the next statement. Okay. While returning, it was raining, and the bus had to reduce its speed by 5 kilometer per hour, and it took 1 hour longer for the return trip. Now I'll give you this statement, and then I will form the questions. First question will be, what is the time taken for the return journey or the fro journey? Okay, and you will have 5 options, among which you will have one option as this. Okay, so you'll choose this option. Okay, after doing till this part, you will have your first MCQ. Second MCQ is form an equation in X. Now, if you form an equation in X, I will give you this equation as one of the options. I will give you this equation as one of the options, and then you can form the equation in X. Okay. Just a minute. Okay. You can now form an equation in X, and I'll give you one of the options as this. You can choose this option, or I can give you this equation also among the options. That is a simplified form. So from here, you will have to simplify your equation to get this, and then you will choose this option. Okay. Now, see, even if you don't form an equation, you will be able to see which equation is right. Because if I give you a third question as what is the if I give you the third equation as third question as what is the original speed of the bus? Just a minute. Okay. Just give me a minute. Okay. So if I give you the third question as what should be the original speed of the bus, and I give you one of these options. Suppose I give you four options. Option A, I give you 40 km/h. Option B as 50 km/h. Option C as 30 km/h. And option D as 60 km/h. Now, following these options, you can actually answer the second question. Okay. Following the third question, options in the third question, you can answer which equation is the one. How will you show? How will you find out which equation? Okay. Among the options, this equation will be there. Okay. So you put each of the options in the equation. You put 40, you put 50, you put 30, and you check which one satisfies the equation. So for all the four equations that you get, you will have to put these values and check which one satisfies. So whichever one satisfies, that will be the equation. And also, once you know which option satisfies, so here option C will be the correct answer. So it is like, killing two birds with one stone. You understood what I said?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these are the
Yes,
shortcuts
sir,
that
understood.
you can use these shortcuts. Okay. But you need to write a statement. Okay. Before writing the correct answer, you need to put a statement there. Okay. That because of this, you are choosing this option. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. But I would recommend you do the normal way. Okay. Because the normal way is the best way of doing. You are not, you know, you don't have any lack of time that you will, use these shortcuts. Shortcuts is a last resort that you use, uh, maybe to cross check or something, or if you are in a hurry, only then you use shortcuts. Otherwise, all of you will get ample time to finish the paper. So let us continue with 34th part 2. The question is 7,500 was divided equally among a certain number of children. Had there been 20 less children, each would have received 100 more. Find the original number of children. So I say let the original number of children be x. This is very similar to the last question also. Let the original number of children be x. Now 7,500 is the total amount. It was divided equally. Okay. So original amount that each child gets. $7,500 was the amount and number of children were x. So each child gets 7,500 by x originally. Okay. Now the second scenario is given. Had there been 20 less children, each would have got 100 more. Okay. So if there were 20 less children, each child would get 7,500. Now the number of children have reduced, right, from x to x minus 20. Fine. So now each child would get this. So which one would be greater? 7,500 by x minus 20 or 7,500 by x? If the number of children reduces, obviously each child would get more. That means this is the greater one. And by how much each child gets greater? Each child would have received rupees 100 more. That means according to the problem, 7,500 divided by x minus 20 minus 7,500 divided by x must be equal to 100 rupees. Okay. So once you have formed an equation, now everything becomes easy, especially if the options are given. So, so we'll do the normal traditional way. You take 7,500 common. And now you divide both sides by 7,500. Cancel two zeros. And now you can take the LCM here. Sign will change once you open the brackets. Now in the numerator, plus x and minus x is going to cancel. And now if you cross multiply, you're going to get x square minus 20 is equal to 75 into 20, which is 1,500. So finally, the equation that you are getting is, this is x square minus 20x. This is 20x. So x square minus 20x minus 1,500. Okay. This can be factorized, I think, very easily. 50 into 30, as I can see the factors. So minus 50x plus 30x minus 1,500. You don't need to use Sridharacharya for this. Okay, so either x minus 50 is equal to 0 or x plus 30 is equal to 0. So the first one will give you x is equal to 50. And the second one will give you x is equal to minus 30, which is not acceptable as the number of children cannot be negative. Hence, the original number of children is 50. And I think that was the question. Yes. Hence, original number of children is equal to x is equal to 50. And that's your answer. Fine. Any question here? All are regular type of questions, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
I don't see much variation in the question till now. Problem that were there for about rectangles and area of rectangles, those kind of problems don't come. Those kind of problems are limited to your class 9. Okay. It is these kind of problems that come. Age problems you will have, number problems you can get. Okay. 2-digit number, maybe 3-digit number also, but not more than 3 digits. Okay, let's do this. This is looks like a profit and loss problem. 36. A trader buys X articles for a total cost of 600. Okay, this statement is given. Now they have given two questions. Now such questions can also be formed as multiple choice questions. Okay, if you see, the first question is write down the cost of one article in terms of X. 4 options will be given. So this you don't have to do anything. You just just by seeing, you can say, even a class 8 student can say, if X articles are bought for a total cost of 600, one article will cost 600 by X. So you choose the correct option, 600 by X. Okay, so that is why I keep telling you that among the 40 questions that are there in the multiple choice questions, more than 50% of the questions can be answered just by observation. Okay, so first question is cost of one article is equal to 600 by X. Okay, next is, if the cost per article were rupees 5 more, cost per article were 5 more, what is the cost per article? 600 by X. The number of articles that can be bought for rupees 600 would be 4 less. Now, what is the cost of each article? If it is rupees 5 more than the original cost, cost of each article, right? Not cost of 600 articles. Each article was 600 by X, right? So if the cost was 5 rupees more, then you add 5 to this. This is the new cost of each article. The number of articles that can be bought for rupees 600 would be 4 less. Okay. Now, initially, how many articles were you buying? You were buying X articles for rupees 600. Now, new number of articles that can be bought. For rupees 600 is equal to 600 divided by the new cost, right? Okay, this is the new number of articles, and how many the number of articles that can be bought would be 4 less. That means you can buy 4 less articles if the price is increased by 5 rupees. That means original number of articles, this one is a greater, you can buy greater number because the price was less here. Okay, 600. How many articles were you buying initially? You were buying X number of articles initially, right? And now you are buying how many articles? You're buying 600 by X plus 5. So according to a problem, initially I was buying X articles, and now I am buying plus 5. And by how much is it? Is it less? By 4. So this will give our equation in X. Okay, so let's simplify this and get an equation in X. Take the LCM in the denominator. So now you get X minus 600. You take this X on top, and the denominator you will be left with 600 plus 5X is equal to 4. So now you take the LCM again. 600 plus 5X will be your LCM. And here you are going to get X into 600 plus X plus 5X minus 600X is equal to 4. You multiply by x and the numerator, you get 600x plus 5x square minus 600x divided by 600 plus 5x is equal to 4. So plus 600 and minus 600 is going to cancel. Now you cross multiply. You are going to get 4 into 600 plus 5x is equal to 5x square, right? Now what you do is, in order to simplify your work, you can work with this only, but here only you can simplify. That is, if you see the HCF of these two, you can take out. So you can write 4 into 5 into 120 plus x is equal to 5x square. Now, if you divide both sides by 5, you're going to get 4 times 120 plus x is equal to 5x square, is equal to x square simply, because we're dividing both sides by 5. You're going to get x square. Now you can form a quadratic very easily, which is 480 plus 4x is equal to x square. So you'll get here x square minus 4x minus 480 is equal to 0. Okay. And what should be the factors? Can't think immediately. Follow Sridhar Acharya then. So you get x is equal to minus b plus or minus root over of b square minus 4 into a into c. But 2 into a. You get 4 plus or minus square root 16 plus 480 into 4 will give you 1920 divided by 2, which is 4 plus or minus square root 1936 divided by 2. You get 4 plus or minus square root of 1936. By division method, you can find it out to be 44. In fact, we have solved this quadratic earlier also in some earlier problem. So taking positive sign, you get x is equal to 4 plus 44 divided by 2. 48 by 2, which is 24. Taking negative sign, x is equal to 4 minus 44 divided by 2, which is less than 0 and is hence and is thus unacceptable. Okay, so we have found out the value of x here, and let's see what is the question. Write down an equation in x, already written down. You can this equation or this equation. This is the equation in x. Okay, and the second part of the question was write down equation x for the above situation and solve it. And we have solved it to get 24. So what is the original number of articles here? Hence, original number of articles that can be bought is equal to 24. And that should be your answer. Okay. Any question here? Okay, I'll stop here, but I would like to discuss a few questions.